Hi, y'all, everyone. I'm Raven the Goddess, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. Today, I'm about to do something that you guys rarely see me do, and that's just record as is off the bat. No backdrop, no editing, no, fancy look, like nothing. I'm just gonna get straight to it and get it done because I couldn't miss the first Wednesday of December without doing a Wisdom Wednesday. Today's topic is going to be streamer talk. Now, those of you who have been on the internet, you might already be aware of certain conversations surrounding the streaming community as far as streaming etiquette, what constitutes success, how you should treat your followers and supporters, stuff like that. As a streamer myself, I felt like, let me say my piece. Let me say my 2 cents. It's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. Okay. Follow. So, I do not like follow for follow when it's presented as a mandatory, sort of like setup. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely mandatory that you follow me because I follow you. I remember back in the day, especially me being into music, I came across a lot of that kind of, especially in building social medias. Like, there was a point in time where I think MySpace, there was a few follow for follow waves that I went through on MySpace, and I'm like, why am I following these people? I don't even fuck with these people. Whenever I go to check out another streamer, we'll stick to streamers because I'm a variety content creator, but we'll stick to streaming. Whenever I check out another streamer, the first thing I do is go to their about page. And I look to see, number one, because if you have a well curated about page, it doesn't have to be super fancy, but if you put in the effort to create an about page, you got your socials, you got your links, you got your, your specs or whatever it is, your games that you play. If you made a conscious effort, that's my first clue. That's my first indicator that you're serious about what you do. Then I'll scroll down and I'll see, I'll check out the aesthetics for myself. I'll see, I'll go check out your clips. I'm giving you a literal walkthrough of what I do when I follow people back on Twitch. I check out their about page. I check out their design. I check out how their page aesthetics look. I check out their beacons. I check out their clips, their videos. When's the last time they stream? And let me tell you something. If you haven't streamed in if it says last streamed like 2 years ago or like even a year ago, I might be less inclined to follow you back. Just because there's so many other creators that I'm trying to support, I can't waste my time. I don't want to sound mean, but I can't waste my time on someone that's not consistent in what they're doing as far as streaming. And that doesn't speak ill of the other person, because maybe at this moment in life, maybe they're going through something, or maybe they're taking a hiatus off socials and content creation, whatever it is. Maybe they, prefer to be a spectator at this time. Maybe they just want to support for now. That's fine, but don't expect a follow back if you're not active and current on your streaming, like what you're doing. And that's why I feel like follow for follow should be authentic. You shouldn't be following people back just to placate them or, because they make you feel like you have to. Because fake support is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Because if you're not following me because you genuinely enjoy what I do, then what are we even doing here? You know what I mean? I'd rather you didn't. And that's fine, because there's plenty of people whose content, especially larger streamers that I follow that don't follow back or haven't yet followed back, whatever the case may be. I'm not holding grudges, even though it might be it's a hit to the ego. See, that's the problem. It's our ego that makes us feel, well, fuck you. You know what I mean? I'll take my follow back. That's ego talking. That's not logic talking. Especially for larger creators with bigger numbers. It only gets increasingly harder to keep up with every single person. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to grant a little bit of grace, a little bit of time. I follow people back that I was supposed to follow back weeks, sometimes months. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm just now realizing that I haven't followed you back. And they're not like, oh my God, well, you took too long. Like, it's understood that as busy as we are, as many hats as we wear, as many tasks that we have to complete during the day, plus we're managing our own personal lives. A lot of us have 9 to 5s. We can't keep track of every single person. As we're growing our numbers, we can't always be on top of that every single day. It doesn't mean we don't care. It doesn't mean that we don't plan to reciprocate. It either means we're too busy, we forgot, it slipped our mind, or the harsh truth of, unfortunately, I'm not really interested in what you have going on as far as content. Wouldn't you want to have the space of your supporters taken up by people who genuinely enjoy what you're doing? And if for you personally that mandates an unfollow of another creator because they're not supporting you back, then so be it. But there's no need to make a big fanfare of it. Just make a personal note that those are your personal standards for how you move and how you operate, and that works fine for you. Streamer etiquette. So, streamer etiquette, I feel like this is kind of like common sense, but may need to be reiterated for some people who might not understand that unless solicited or invited by another streamer to, share your own creative endeavors or share your stream information and stuff like that, or if you get a shout out on somebody's channel, you should never go onto somebody's stream advertising your own stream. That's so tacky. That's like a Burger King worker walking into McDonald's trying to sell fucking a Whopper to their customers. Like, you eating here? No. Like, I got burgers too. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're gonna, you know what I mean? It's just etiquette. It's just proper streamer etiquette. Because what a lot of us don't realize is our primary support group in the streamer space, a lot of it comes from each other, from other streamers. And not only do we have to keep those networks open out of respect for those who are in the same niche of what we're doing, but also just out of business respect and personal respect of that person. So, without permission, without prior permission, I do feel like it's in poor taste to advertise yourself on somebody else's stream. You gotta stay humble. You gotta, even like when I get shout outs, I say thank you and I keep it pushing. I immediately navigate back to another topic, or talking about the streamer, what they're streaming, or how's the game going, what's going on here, like, you like the game so far, blah blah blah, you're gonna get the new change the topic. We don't have to talk about me. This is your stage, this is your space, and I'm not gonna come and put my shit on your stage, you know what I mean? So, common sense. My third thing, I have my notes. Why are you doing this? So, streaming has evolved, especially over the past, I want to say maybe 6 to 7 years. Streaming has dramatically evolved and expanded beyond just games. Now there is a space that is welcoming to variety streamers like myself, who may stream more than games. Like, I stream music, movies, I read manga, cooking, like people who do variety streams. There's a space for them, and of course the IRL streaming craze that has arisen over the past few years. So with that, evolution brings pros and cons. Because you have your day one dedicated streamers who start to feel like they're being pushed out of a space that they genuinely love and enjoy to be in. They feel like a lot of the newcomers into the streaming space are inauthentic, or just kind of like riding the wave, which in some instances I do agree, but you can't gatekeep to the extent of where you're looking down on everybody that's come into streaming the past. Oh, you're not I've been streaming since 2015. Like, you can't really do that. You just kind of have to keep doing you. Pay attention to the changes and the evolution of the space, and the different ways that you might have to use to reach out to your audience may change. You may have to kind of switch up your advertising, switch up your presentation, switch up how you like your clips. You might have to go a little bit harder for your clips because now it's a little bit more crowded out there, so you might have to do a little bit more to stand out. But what I want my day one streamers, my OG streamers, to know is that just because this space has evolved, it doesn't mean that you no longer have a place. Because I feel like when everything's settled, when the dust settles, we're still only going to be left with those who genuinely enjoy what they do as streamers. Because we have people that have jumped on for a quick buck. We got people that are just experimenting and playing around with streaming. They're not, and there are people that are really pushing for this for a livelihood. And then you have people that are just doing it as a hobby. And wherever you may fall, know that if this is something you genuinely enjoy doing, then you're going to be fine. But if your heart isn't in it, you're going to fall off, period. So if you're out here for fake reasons, or if you're streaming just to get, you're streaming for clout, or you're trying to get rich quick, or you're doing it just because it's hot right now and just because everybody else is doing it, you're going to fall off. You're going to either get bored real quick, or you're going to get tired of not seeing instant results. You're going to fall off, and that's it. That's going to be it. I do feel like your purpose for what you're doing is just as important as the goals that you've set for yourself. Patience is key. Okay? So you can't expect immediate results overnight in that. I think streaming is a crowded niche, but you have to be grateful for the support that you have. Reciprocate only if, okay, hold on, let me rephrase that. My final thoughts on this, streaming is a crowded niche. And it gets a little spicy. It gets a little, combative sometimes. It gets really intense. And there's days when you might feel discouraged with your numbers and stuff like that. So that's why it's really important for you to be grateful for the support that you have in such a crowded niche. Look at your numbers in comparison to where you were before, not compared to other people. Because again, remember, streaming is a very, very crowded field. Reciprocate if you feel called to do so, if you genuinely have an interest in the other creator's content. That's it. No obligation, no because you feel like you have to. Support back because you want to support back. And even if you have a large following, don't let it get to your head, because it can kind of like inflate your ego and make you feel like you don't have to give back, or you don't have to acknowledge the people who supported you. But always find ways to acknowledge your supporters and remember where you started. Even if it gets overwhelming, because trying to connect with everyone as your numbers grow can become overwhelming. So just find ways to say thank you to the community as a whole. Stay humble and keep being you. Keep being authentic. Viewers, supporters, subscribers, people who share your stuff, people who spectate, other streamers who watch you and collab with you and play games with you when you're looking for partners to play games. Those people are your lifeblood. Those people are your fuel and your motivation, and you should always be appreciative for them until they start getting crazy. Don't people start getting crazy, and then it's time to clean house. For the most part, definitely they all deserve appreciation, and the person who deserves appreciation the most, of course, is yourself. So don't cheat yourself by being ingenuine, by taking up your own space with content that you're not even genuinely interested in, because that adds extra burden on you, because now it makes it harder for you to connect with the people that you genuinely support. Stay humble, stay motivated, stay focused. Don't be discouraged if your numbers aren't looking the way you want them to look. I know a lot of people are pushing out their recaps, and a few people aren't happy. Some people are seeing drops, some people are seeing increases. Just know that you're still in the game. Like, you still, do you still love what you do? Are you still enjoying the process? Did you have extenuating circumstances this year that caused setbacks in what you were trying to do creatively. Whatever it is, take everything into consideration. Take the numbers with a grain of salt and keep pushing. As long as you're passionate and truly love what you do, you'll be fine. Just keep going, keep moving. You know, understand the basic principles of etiquette when it comes to the streaming space. Understand networking is important. Treating other people with respect is important. Reciprocating love in a genuine way is always important. And everything else will fall into place, I feel like for me, being I guess you call me a baby streamer. I've been streaming for, not consistently, but I've been streaming off and on for about, I want to say 5 years now, and it's been an amazing journey of ups and downs, but I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Okay. But that's all for today. I gotta get back into my job because, you know, they probably like, because I never leave for lunch, so they probably think I'm like left, like she finally walked out of the job. Like, not yet. Not yet. But thank you guys again for always supporting and showing love. I do appreciate you guys. If you have any thoughts, comments, please do not be afraid to drop those in, and please make sure you share this video for somebody else who might be inspired and motivated by what they've seen today. And again, this is weird for me because I'm so particular about how I like to do my videos. I usually like to have my fancy pants little graphics, and I like to do my makeup, and I like to have my backdrop, and I like to have, you know, and it's like, you know what, fuck it, just get the message out today. So that's what we're doing. We're getting the message out. Okay. But once again, I am Raven the Goddess, and this has been Wisdom Wednesday. Love, light, and blessings. Bye.